I hope Democrats do run a democratic socialist.
You hope that we win,
I think
Trump?
you'll lose spectacularly when I finally get to tell everybody I told you so if you end up running a radical. Problem with socialism, in the words of Margaret Thatcher, at a certain point you run out of spending other people's money. Venezuela.
Vietnam, 1967. What appeared to be a civilian light bulb factory was in fact a research lab. It was developing neural network technology to program communist doctrine into the Vietnamese. This technology was taken and adapted into an android which can use any conversation to defend the McCain family honor. It is now a daytime talk show host appearing on The View.
Give me an example of what political correctness is to you.
Oh, I am a conservative on television. I go to restaurants, this show, different places on the subway, and people who don't want to talk about being a Republican in Manhattan and major cities will come up to me and say that they're uncomfortable talking about it, but they want me to know that they agree with me, but they want to do it privately.
Mike Pence left a game, and I understand that you said it was an act of, quote, systemic oppression. So if I left your football game, would you think that I would be behaving in the same way?
You're not the vice president of the United States.
Fair enough. I guess Bannon refers to Nikki Haley as a Jarvanka Republican. Nikki Haley is a very respected conservative. Would Bannon and you call me a Jarvanka Republican?
There are kids that want to get into the same career as their parents, and I'm totally fine with that as long as it's that kid's dream. What parent doesn't want to help their kid?
This is the question I have for both of you. Okay, so I'm conceding and all, but you didn't say anything that was like semi-throwing shade. What should I have done? Should I not have had a career in politics? It's the only world I've ever known,
should do exactly what you're doing.
But I think that when you have your partner's ear, when you have that sort of influence, that's the hallmark of a healthy relationship.
Are you saying I don't have a healthy relationship because Ben and I don't control each other's Twitter accounts?
I'm not talking about you personally.
Legacy admissions is racist in nature, and I'll tell you why. It started in the 20s to keep out upwardly mobile immigrants who had started pushing for admission to elite schools. That is a very, very bad system. Legacy. Why should your kid get in because you got in?
In military academies, my family goes back generations at the Naval Academy, and that's service to your country, so I would push back in that part of it because my grandfather, great-grandfather, my brothers, they all served their country.
Yeah, but if you don't have the grades, why should you
They
benefit
did have
from
the grades.
that?
My brother did, but I don't think there's anything to be ashamed of the fact that my family's legacy is at the Naval Academy. My father's buried there.
I'm not talking about your family. I'm talking
You said
about
legacy.
I'm talking about the policy of where legacy admissions came from.
I'm very proud of my family's legacy at the Naval Academy.
And Jews probably out of the colleges.
I am John McCain's daughter.
My father.
My father. My father. My father. My father. My father. My father. My father. My father. My father.
Your father was working long and hard with me and others for a comprehensive immigration reform bill.
Yes, and with all due respect, I know where the heart of people like Tom Cotton is.
I don't think we're ever going to win him over.
Help them, help their children.
Give a Nicaraguan
Stop the
house.
crime rates.
Well, we've had a
I'm
bunch of
talking
liberal
about
guests who
helping-
do not
Hold
want
on.
to send in aid
I
at
listen
all.
to you. Let me just finish.
Yeah, part of your job is to listen to me.
Okay, so here's what's here.
Let me finish because that what I was just saying about Walmart
I'm just
people.
trying to say.
Because we're sitting
If you're all talking at once, I'm going to go to break. I'm going to give you the last word.
That's
Go
why
ahead.
we needed the bell.
We don't need the bell. Shut up with the bell.
I don't understand.
Stop it with the bell. Go ahead, Megan.
I don't understand why we're not trying to understand. I don't know what's happening. You know what? Forget it. When I was a teenager after 9/11, I was one of those people that called them freedom fries instead of French fries, because France didn't support us in the war in Iraq. I take this very personally. I probably verge on being a Zionist as well, but I will say that I don't have family that is Jewish, but Joe Lieberman and Hadassah Lieberman are my family.
Yeah.
And I take the hate crimes rising in this country incredibly seriously, and I think what's happening in Europe is really scary. And I'm sorry if I'm getting emotional, but
You're right.
the idea that this is politicized, I'm really not. I was very nervous to talk about this on the show because I thought it would become politicized. And just because I don't technically have Jewish family that are blood related to me, it doesn't mean I don't take this as seriously. What Ilhan Omar is saying is very scary to me.
Because I can't hear it. They would like me to say this. Just to be clear, I in no way was advocating violence towards the president.